Can you hear me? Can you hear me out there? Can you hear me? Today we're talking about series 12, episode 7. Can you hear me? As always, if you have not watched the episode, go watch it because spoilers are ahead. Now, I'm taking this episode on solo because Archivist and our schedule has not worked out again. Life gets hectic for people who don't know. Anyways, yes, so this episode was an interesting episode. Kind of felt like we could have had two different stories, maybe a two-parter. It just felt like the beginning was dragged out, and the last 15 minutes was so compressed. And this episode does have a very dark tone to it, which I'll get into later. So we start off with the doc, dropping the fam off in Sheffield again. We are back in Sheffield once again. Seems like we're always there with this doctor. Anyways, we see Yaz go with her sister to celebrate a special day, which we'll get to later. Ryan with his buddy, who has an extreme amount of locks. And then Graham playing with his bus buddies, his bus driver buddies. Anyway, so we see Doctor go to Serbia, which I felt like was very unnecessary. Yes, I know this creature was created by this girl. But after that little part, and then maybe the one or two times we see in the cage, it wasn't necessary. Anyways, we learn that people are not having good dreams. They are having their fears. We see at one point Ryan and Yaz's fear. I'm sure. Getting ahead of myself. We see Graham with his bus buddies getting this message saying that some lady needs her help. Needs Graham's help being free from this prison and all that. And then we get moments where we have Yas and Ryan and their friend, and the friend having these nightmares. That's why the friend had so many locks on the door, because of this mysterious guy who for a second this mysterious guy coming in who literally fingers you in the ear. God, that sounds weird and everything. And then we have, this whole little, battle. I thought it was very interesting how this guy knew the doctor was getting, jumping forward, because this episode, I'm not going to talk much about it, more about, the message at the end. But we have this guy who, takes the doctor's, curiosity and uses it against her to get this woman out. And we have a callback to the toy maker and essentials from Classic Who and everything. But really, this episode has a deeper meaning, and I feel like Chip and all this season is going a little much on the deep message. We had Orphan 55 with climate change, Praxius with plastic pollution, and now we have Can You Hear Me with depression. As we learn in this episode, we actually get more backstory on Yaz. And we learned that 3 years ago, so if this is set in, let's say 2019, 2020, this would have been 2016, 2017, that she ran away, that her sister was worried about her and everything. But she ran away because she was bullied at school. Now, if we put that in context, Yaz is I thought Yaz was at least 30, I don't know, late 20s, early 30s. This might suggest she's very early 20s, which means Ryan's early 20s because they are the same age around, if I remember correctly. But we see her run away, and this police officer comes and was the thing about getting old, and you have all this knowledge, but nobody wants to listen to your knowledge, the whole spiel. And we have the police officer saying, if Yaz doesn't talk to anyone in 3 years, go back in 3 years, then the officer will pay Yaz 50 quid, which is 50 pounds. But if Yaz does talk to someone, Yaz has to give the police officer 50 pence, which is not much. It's like American, like 50, maybe 70 cents. It's not much. It's like less than $1, less than a pound. But, and then it was very interesting how Yaz went back and she's like, I don't think you'll remember me. My name is Yaz. And the police officer was like, Yasminka, I do remember you. Like, that's something. And especially if she lets her in, like, we don't get to see much of that conversation, but I feel like this whole idea of fears and depression is very interesting. Like, and it does hit a home for a lot of people, maybe a good amount of people, especially like someone like me who may have depression or like deals with symptoms of it. Like, having those moments where you feel like you can't go to anyone. Like, there's so many times I know I don't have like true depression, but I've been almost borderline diagnosed with it once. But there's just times where you just don't want to talk to anyone. Like, there's so many times where I might seem fine and then go in my room, sit on my bed and just cry, just like not want to talk to anyone. And even if someone does talk to me, it's like whatever they're trying to say to make me feel better, it's, for me at least, it doesn't work. It makes me worse and everything. Like, I've had it where people, it's like when I'm in my state, it's my depressed mind, my depressed body, and my friends try to kick it out of me and stuff like that. And it's just like one of those things that I wish like that kind of, we got a little bit more about what Yaz was going through and all that stuff, because I feel like having, it's one thing to say to someone who's depressed, oh, you need to go talk to someone, oh, stop being depressed, but it's a serious like issue and everything. Like, it's hard. And then we have Ryan, and then I feel like Yaz and Ryan are like questioning if they still want to be on the TARDIS, because Ryan had his like fear dream of his friend who we meet literally burning and getting a cameo of the Drax, the people from Orphan 55. And like, I think for them, they're really questioning if they want to stay or not anymore. And then we get Graham with his fear that, well, Graham gets a double whammy for his. We have him being feared for depression, his cancer returning, and we have Grace, which I feel like it's that self-grieving and like the grieving of the lost one and that worry that a horrible disease is coming back. It's one of those things, like, when you look at the deeper message, I mean, this episode, the deep message, like, for me at least, hit hard. Like I said, don't have depression, but have almost been diagnosed with it. I've never had cancer, but I know for people who've had cancer, 2 of them who got it back after the first round being treated, second round they got it and it killed them. And there's always that fear, no matter if it's the person who has it or like the people around them, like the fear of it coming back. Sometimes it can be short term, like 3 to 5 years. Other times it could be like 10 to 15 years until it comes back. Like, we think like it's one of those things, like it's always in the back of like a mind of someone, even if it's not like present every day. Like, there's always that fear of, is this, if you or like the person you know, is this deadly disease coming back? And if it is it gonna be something you can cure again, or is it gonna just freaking kill them and all of that? And then we have, like, on the flip side of the coin, we have Grace coming back, which is that grieving aspect of a loved one dying. It's like those 5 stages, I can't remember, but it's like, it's just remembering like the ones you lost, and like you wanting them back no matter what, and all that. Like, just like this whole episode, like, when you dive into the message, it's dark, but it's something we need to, like, know about, because I feel like also with, like, the cancer and the, like, grieving thing, kind of does tie into that thing that sometimes people don't talk about it. Like, if you're grieving, like, you just say, oh yeah, my loved one passed away, but sometimes that, like, inner emotion grieving is a lot harder for someone to talk about than, like, just saying, oh yeah, they passed away, or even the cancer thing, just saying you have cancer, like, you know, so-and-so have cancer, but dealing with it either personally or with a loved one, it's hard, like, and it's hard, and I freaking gonna start crying at one point. But it's just like, I think some things, like, you, like, again, saying you need to go talk to someone, you can say all you want to someone who's dealing with this stuff, but in the end, unless you're that one, unless you really, like, want to help them, like, be that person to listen to them no matter what, and just be that person there, or go find, like, a therapist or something, or just someone who will listen. Like, I think that's sometimes hard for people who deal with some of this stuff, like, they just don't feel like they can go to anyone, they just don't feel like they can find anyone and all that, you know? Anyways, so yes, and then moving away from all this, we find the doctor socially awkward. Like, I'm sorry, what? Like, how is the doctor socially awkward when she goes on all these adventures? Like, if she was socially awkward, we would have known sooner. I feel like that whole Dr. Grant scene was just weird and everything. And also, I didn't really get the one girl's purpose. The other god. The god thing, yes, it was a nice callback with Essentials Toymaker, but it just kind of confused me. And, like, I know he was getting her to dream so she can survive and lived and everything. And then we just trapped them all back up, which was probably a good idea. Anyways, yes. Not really a review, but more of a discussion talking thing. Anyways, what did you think about Can You Hear Me? Let me know in the comments down below. As always, if you've not subscribed to this channel, what are you doing? Hit the subscribe button to get more episodes of The Who Show, because we are down to the final 3, and it's rumors that the last 2 episodes are a 2-parter. So really, we have one more solo episode of Doctor Who before our dramatic 2-parter. As always, give this video a big thumbs up if you liked it. And until next time, have a good day.